Shadow can play it that way. I'm very happy to see Shadow here. You know, hopefully he finds some form. I definitely think Serenity is a team that can make it to the playoffs. They usually, you know, they've been in it all year, close to making that, you know, jump.
Yeah, I mean they have potential. It just when I checked the results from yesterday, I was surprised they won 3. To be honest.
You know, their biggest event this year was what, WSOE.
Yep. I didn't get to play them there, unfortunately.
Did you get? Were they there the whole time? Because they only played that one matchup.
They were there the whole time, just chilling.
I remember that was originally announced as a best of 7 or something like that.
Yeah, it was supposed to be best of 7, then they changed it to BO5.
I would have loved to see that again.
No, I want BO7.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
But they were like, what, semis were BO5s and the finals were BO7? That was, that original thought was like, that's a lot of Dota.
I mean, I don't want to cast those games, I want to play those games. Because casting them can get really tiring, I think. You have a compendium?
Yes, I do.
You have the Russian line that he just used?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't usually use that one. I definitely love spamming the Chinese ones.
What? How do you not use that one?
I love. It is a good one, but I don't know if my compendium's high enough. But I love using the Duyona because that's I think that translates to where is your team.
Oh, where's my team?
Yeah.
I like.
Great line.
Itsy bootsy.
Yeah, that's a Russian one too, right?
Oh, that's a Chinese one.
Is
what
it?
The hell? Yeah. That means, are you mad or not?
Oh damn. And maybe I'm thinking of a different one.
Possible. I'm just gonna call you out right now.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Charge
Hope
onto this axe.
Get angry at me for it.
I can't be angry. Come on. Been having a good time so far.
Oh, the coddle. He's gonna eat a lot of hits now.
So PYW here, safe lane against Eve. Is this the matchup they want, or you know, is it CDC who want the axe up top?
This matchup should be really good for the Bristleback. He should get complete free farm. Of course, go with Lifestealer. I think they're playing a bit wrongly, to be honest. I think this Lifesteal could get pressured out of lane quite hard to just play the lane, but they choose to pull creeps instead. I'm not entirely sure why. I don't think they have to do this.
Charge coming in once again. Not really doing much. He's gotten the double stout too, which I absolutely love.
Yeah, like I don't know who started doing it, but ever since that one guy did it, everybody started doing it.
I definitely saw it early on in the Chinese region. That was one of those things you saw when Axe was super popular, what, 7 or 8 months ago? Might have even been less than that, but it was always in the Chinese region. They pick up Axe, go double stout, pick up Vanguard in about 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, double stout. A lot of people did like lots of math on it, seeing how efficient it is it actually worth it or not, and then I guess people now finally think it's worth it after, what, 14 years of Dota.
And it ends up being almost XCJ going down and XCJ going down for first blood. So he tries to stop 1, 2, 3, but right there to turn it around is James to help out his axe.
Yep. 330 golds in the pockets of the Tiny. We're sitting at 700.
Which is, you know, you want a Tiny who kind of, especially when he's in this roaming area, you want a Tiny who kind of finds a bit of gold early on, because he's, you know, you want him to be aggressive and moving around quite a bit.
Oh, definitely. Like, if you're a roamer like this and you get an early first, but you always feel really, really happy. Get into fast face boots or whatever item you're gonna get, maybe even Rush a Blink.
Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains, and there's the Avalanche toss to kill off ZYD. XCJ comes in, but he's still just level 1, so the charge, you know, it's there, but how much is it doing? Oh, shoot.
Yeah, Like, to be surprised, to be honest, I'm quite surprised that they picked the Wind Ranger just like that. Because there are a lot of counter matchups, you can see he's having a very hard time against this Ember Spirit. Like, only Weeha can do this, I think.
We saw a lot of that at Epicenter with Weeha and the Wind Ranger.
Yup. Wind Ranger TA. All day, every day.
Shadow
life
shot
stick
right there.
Get free farm.
Just tosses him back. Still looking over bottom at what this Bristle is going to do to this Lifestealer. It seems like Lifestealer is having an okay time. I mean, Bristle's 32-1. It's still 25-1 for the Lifestealer, so it's not terrible. He hasn't been pushed out of lane. He's been able to do what he can in farming. As charge comes all the way down, he's finally level 2, but the open wounds on XCJ doing a lot of damage here. He needs to be careful. Illuminate comes through. They've still got Victoria and Eve pretty high health, and James may be looking around to avalanche and toss back towards the tower. And that is exactly what he sets up with as the root comes in on top of it. Charge all the way across. Avalanche comes in to stop that. Illuminate just misses James.
I really think they should be playing it a little bit more aggressively as a dire side here. Like the creep skipping they did was very, very bad for them. Very good for Cdec, I think, because they could just pressure the lifesteal completely out of lane, whereas now he's actually getting free farm. That shouldn't have happened to begin with. Like, they probably thought they were much weaker than they really are. Lifesteal is not strong against this hero.
He's going into a Midas first, so that's usually that's pretty standard, right, with the Lifestealer these days?
Yeah, but I don't think he can do it this game. Not comfortably, at least, because he's gonna get pressured very, very hard soon by this Bristleback. We'll see how it pans out, though.
We'll see if he's able to finish it off. Meanwhile, Shadow over top, looking over at the Axe. Battle Hunger was placed on XCJ. A bit of damage being thrown towards the Axe, but not enough. And now a call onto the Spirit Breaker. He goes under tower for a moment, but he pulls him back into range of James. Avalanche toss, and there it is. They'll get the kill.
Yeah, the power of Axe. Well, power and weakness, I'd say. Like, whether you spin a lot or not, it's always a bit up to RNG.
Yeah, sometimes 20% feels like 0, and sometimes 20% feels like 100.
Yeah, it's actually insane. Sometimes just a helicopter. Other times, he's a broken engine.
And there was that funny picture that showed up today. I think might have seen it on Twitter, but it was like one of the memes where it talks about how, you know, how are you spinning if you're in Chronosphere? And it was based off that SpongeBob meme with Patrick.
Yeah. Well, SpongeBob explains everything. You know, one thing about SpongeBob that people don't know? It is actually a show for kids, but the jokes they use are very adult. Going here on the Bristleback.
Yeah, Bristle getting a little bit low, but we'll see if he's okay with the help of Raji.
He's good. Yeah, SpongeBob is really, really hard to understand if you're a kid. That's what I realized recently.
I think there was a rumor that they were asked to come to MTV to make it more mature, but they ended up declining and staying with Nickelodeon, which I ultimately think in the long run was probably the better move.
Oh, for sure. I mean, SpongeBob is just life. I love that show.
I remember first episode I saw when it first came out, Bubble Stand. Such a classic.
I mean, at this point, every SpongeBob episode is a classic.
Pretty Patties, classic. You can name them. Rip My Pants, classic.
Is this the Krusty Krab? No, this is Patrick. Is mayonnaise an instrument?
And you'll still be quoting that 10 years from now. That's the best part.
Middle tower is under attack.
No, Patrick, mayonnaise is not an instrument. Oh man, SpongeBob. Whoever created that show is a god amongst men.
Yeah, for sure. So the game's been relatively quiet. As it's only 3-0. but yeah, just some conservative farming and ultimately looking for your next couple items. Axe in top of the net worth by about 500 if my NA math is correct, and right behind him is the Bristle, so it's close, but Axe getting closer and closer to that Blink Dagger, which is, I think, a moment where CDEC might even look to be aggressive at that point.
Yeah, but as we can see, the mid lane right now, Ember is one level ahead of the Wind Ranger. And Ember with free farm is always very scary. Especially against a Lion like the Dire one. I can't really stop him at all.
Wounds again here on the PYW. They've Fortune's End to hit, but it's just harassment, nothing really too crazy. Meanwhile, towards top, they look to get the kill onto the Axe, but the spins, looks for the Culling Blade and will find it, but he ends up dying afterwards to ZYD.
Yeah, Slug also almost died. Was very close. I can see like the power of Axe that's farmed, or rather that's dead farmed. Like, he's just super strong in the early game. 50 gold of Blink now, and then he's gonna lay in the pain. Ember Spirit diving here.
Yeah, Raji. Ooh,
Almost
sitting low, Remnant over, and now right next to PYW, but charge coming inside of Fist to avoid it, but gets bashed first hit anyway. Second hit. We're talking about those percentages.
17.
17, or is it 100? But meanwhile, Shadow dies. They might get PYW. Very close. The Infest pop right near him, but I don't believe it hit.
No, it hit. He was down to 8 health.
Was he? Wow.
Yeah.
He might have popped. Did he pop the Wander right after?
He did, yeah.
Oh, you picked it up better than I did.
He was a little bit slow on the one. If he wanted before the, Infest, it wouldn't even be that close. He just wanted to entertain us.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Show us that Chinese math is always spot on.
Oh, it's much better than any map, I'll tell you that much.
Like, to be fair, there's not many things that are worse than any map.
That is true. I don't know if I could
Are fortified.
name many.
Dire's
Yeah.
top tower
Wait,
is under
even 5? Nope. Oh, we
XM,
love our Americans, of course.
I hope so.
I'm an American too, deep
Radiant's
within.
middle tower is under attack.
Who isn't? Everyone's a K Kona, deep inside.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
If you're not Kekona, you join in.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not K Kona, you're still K Kona. That's what I learned. And if you are K Kona, you're part of the master race.
Smoke coming out here
Smoke
from
up here.
CDEC.
Yep.
See if they can find anybody. XCJ backs away, but Shadow ends up north of this smoke, so he's able to walk away. But the blink as well as the call, that's going to hit onto the Spirit Breaker, and an easy kill there with the Culling Blade.
Yep. Down we go. I mean, right now the momentum is really all Cdec. They're getting free farm on the lifestealer still. Axe is immensely fat. Free farm on Ember Spirit, and they just have no way on Serenity right now to really fight them. Like the only thing they can do is set up a counter gank and then play it that way.
Tower is under attack.
Be on Ember.
Yes, Serenity haven't shown many answers. They're still trying to farm on these cores. It seems like Shadow, yet he's died once, but his farming has seemed particularly slow. Avalanche to stop that charge from XCJ. They're still trying to close the distance if they can find anything, but they got to be careful because 123 has this blink, so you get too close, you get too many people coming in, a good blink call on a couple heroes, and all of a sudden it could turn in CDC's favor quite quickly.
Yeah.
So here they go around them. They've got the lowest drop by Raji. Hits 3 heroes, and CDC, though, still charging forward. They'll get the kill here onto the Kato. They'll look over at XCJ to try and get a second. They will. 123 still sitting low, but the False Promise comes out from Victoria to keep him alive. They've got the Fortune's End. They'll get the kill on a Shadow. They'll look for more. 123, blink forward. Not even needed as ZYD goes down. He'll end up falling after the False Promise runs out. And 4 for 1 in favor of CDC.
Yeah, I mean, as we spoke about, Ember's picked up the DD rune. put it to good use. Every slide just deals, like what, 400 damage. The keepers died in 2 hits, and all they got was an axe, but he gladly dies for a trade like that. Was it like 1-4 trade?
Yeah. 1-4 trade, he had false promise. And he was,
it's just, how does Dire fight them right now? They have no means to actually get close to them. They have no Blink Dagger heroes. The only thing they have is a charge. That's not reliable.
Dire's bottom
Yeah, it
tower
definitely
is
wasn't
under
reliable
attack.
early, and it hasn't been much really too reliable now because they've spotted the charge, and anytime they've spotted the charge, you've got Tiny there to just throw the avalanche and make sure that you don't finish.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Yep,
attack.
and then what do you have after that? Or a shackle shot? It's not very reliable either. They just have no solid stuns.
Lifestealer about to finish this armlet. You take a look at what Windrunner's got. Maelstrom going into the Force Staff. You know, things have been pretty tough, and now Blade Mail on the axe. It's a quick cleanup of ZYD. You're not safe anywhere anymore. This axe had such a good early game, 6-2-3 for 1-2-3. How do they slow him down? He's been snowballing so hard.
Yep. And of course you can also see the massive difference in the mid lanes. Ember sitting at 7k, Windranger at 4.8. And Windranger is not a hero that plays particularly well from behind. So picking a Windranger like that early, if you're not like a hero specialist like Weeha is, I think is very risky. There's just too many counters in the game.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And at what point can Serenity start to maybe be the aggressors or even be confident in their fighting?
I mean, once Slark gets like, really fat, until then all they can really do is counter-initiate. Wait for the axe to jump someone, be ready to fight, and try to turn it around when the enemy isn't like S5 right from the start. Because the way Cdec is playing the fight is they're always like 3 together and then 2 are farming the other sides of the map. They can capitalize on that, get a quick kill or 2, maybe even find the Oracle out of position. It's like the only way they can fight right now.
Bristle going into a BKB.
Yeah, Blink Dagger also picked up on Tiny.
And they've got the Infest Transportation here with 1-2-3 ready, Blink, and Blade Mail ready to go with Lifestealer inside, now outside, and right next to this Bristle, and an easy kill. Will-O-Wisp, it does lock in 4, but it's not going to matter.
They literally just cannot touch them. And they don't have the best split pushes either. Come all down to the Slark, whether he can get fat enough or not.
Dire's top tower is
Now, how much
under
can they
attack.
rely on Shadow? How much can he carry on his back?
Well, not much so far. Let's hope he gets in some gym sessions.
I gotta practice those data lifts, see what he can get going here. And also, you know, even with the Bristle, top of the net worth, his net worth hasn't really felt effective.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah. He built into the pipe that he spoke
Blink
about.
call with the Blade Mail and an easy kill on ZYD once again. Like you said, it's so hard for this Windrunner to come back and come from behind.
Radiant's bottom
You see the struggles right there and then.
Yeah. If it's really bad to play mid-range in a game like this, there's just no place you can make.
Blink call now on the Bristle. They've got the charge trying to come in, but there's the avalanche. We spoke about PYW getting chased down, searing chains there, and he ends up dead.
Nothing they can do in response. It's actually insane.
Dire's middle tower is under
Everything they try to respond with gets countered almost immediately.
middle tower has fallen.
I mean, what can they respond with though? A charge? That will never go through against Ember and Tiny. I mean, if even the tankiest hero dies from full to 0 and it can't respond, then you gotta think of something, you know, think of a better battle plan.
Yeah, we have seen the charge avoided with the Sleight of Fist. We have seen it stopped with the avalanche. I mean, it just is not effective at this point. And oh boy, now you're just gone again.
I mean, at this point, they can't even leave their base. Clark just barely dodging the call. If he gets called, he also dies. But gets away with one. And... man, they just can't play the map. It's impossible right now. The only one is showing his lifestealer, and you can't kill that guy.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And when you start to get locked down in your own base, that's what kind of starts, you know, the XP lead or the net worth lead growth, because you're not really farming and the other team's got control of basically the entire side of the map.
Yep. This is really where you see most Dota games fall apart for teams, when they can't leave their base anymore. And it's starting to get to the point here.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's
So we'll
top
see what
tower is
CDC
under attack.
continues to do here in just playing high aggression. And if Serenity can maybe double their kill count, they're only at 2. They haven't done anything really except die.
Yeah, I mean, what can they really do? The heroes are so... like, there isn't really much of any synergy at all. They have no initiation. The only thing they can do, as we said, is counterplay. But even that they're not doing properly. They're always getting picked off before they even have a setup ready to respond.
Are scanning.
And yeah, they just need to set up some baits. The only thing they can do at this point.
They have Diffusal, that'll slow Eve, but he's able to get right into that rage.
It's like, okay, you get charged, and then what? You rage, and you have no damage.
Dire's top tower.
Going for the Desolator on Lifesteal this game. I like it a lot. They just want to burst down heroes with the axe.
Call, ZYD spotted again, and very much in trouble. So trying to run away, the Shackle comes through onto Victoria, but Fortune Zan with the damage coming in, and Eve gets another.
Yep. No way to split push for you, my sir. Get out of here, they say. Here's Jewel Scepter on Ember Spirit now as well. Another way to cancel the charge. Oh, he tried to break the tree down up there so they could ward there, but... jump.
Dire's bottom tower is
Late
under
ward
attack.
gold coming in here for Raji. So he gets to de-ward just a bit. And, you know, we've got this Tiny with a Blink Dagger now. He's going into a Yule's as well. He had roamed around a lot and kind of enabled his team. On top of the fact that 1-2-3 just had such a good early game.
Yeah. I mean, it's... what can you really say? They didn't address any of the issues they had in the early game, and now all these little issues became very big issues. They can't deal with a single hero of Radiant right now. Infested the Lifestealer, and...
And there it is again, ZYD. No way to save him. They've got the Culling Blade, and now let's see if they look for more. Will-O-Wisp, multi-thrown, but False Promise comes out. Blinding Light pushing him back. This could be a third potentially, but there's the call on the 3. False Promise still active, and finally afterwards he goes and dies. They take out the Spirit Breaker. They've got the Pounce Leash onto James. Shadow trying to save the game. He's doing a lot of damage to the Tiny, but in comes XM. Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains, Fortune Zan gets the kill on a Shadow. Charge all the way across, but again, is it going to be enough? They've been trying to find a couple of kills. There's the Searing Chains. XCJ goes down. There goes the Bristle. And it is all falling apart for Serenity.
Pyongyang!
Dire's bottom tower.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they just let Axe die like that. They were all just waiting in the backline for full health instead of trying to help him. I don't think Axe needed to die there, not like that at least. But it doesn't really matter, they still
Dire's
wiped them.
bottom tower is under attack.
Axe is very happy to die once again.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
And yeah, the base, the only safe place right now. Not for much longer even.
Dire's structures are fortified.
And they'll go for the tier 3, and
Yeah, they'll take the tier 3 and I take the shrines. Play it slow. Probably go for a Roshan. No need to rush anything.
Dire's middle tower. Dire's bottom tower.
they're set up prime to win this game.
Yeah.
bottom shrine.
Question is whether they're gonna hit the shrine right away or play it cautiously. Yeah, let's hit the shrine. Lives, they're going for the AC
Dire's
next.
bottom shrine has fallen.
Ember Spirit is also so incredibly farmed.
Blank call just missing. Still can't turn it though. Ooh, swing
Lincoln's
liner.
finished on Ember.
How do you kill the
can't-
Ember? How do you
can't-
kill anybody?
I mean, you don't. I guess you can kill Axe if he jumps into 5 heroes like you have in the past fights, but you always get wiped. You see, Axe is the 3 deaths that the Serenity has, or 3 kills rather.
And they're very willing to give up Axe if they could just take out everybody else.
Yup.
They're infested within the Axe, who's now picked up that BKB. Serenity forced into a spot where they just have to fight. They're down 15,000 net worth, and it may not be the wisest plan, but it's a an idea that they have to go with. So
Dire's top shrine.
they lose their courier. Charge comes out onto James Fortune's end, stopping that ult. He's trying to come through his shadow deep within enemy lines, and almost immediately taken out of this fight. The Will-O-Wisp walks in a couple, but they'll lose Raji, and now Shadow chasing after this Oracle who false promise himself. They're going to try and continue to do enough damage to him to take him out so they no longer have that heal and sustainability, but they've already lost themselves the Windrunner as well as the Coddle. The buyback comes out from ZYD, but I'm not sure if it's going to matter. PYW goes down, Victoria finally dead, and GG will be called by PYW as they lose XCJ, and they just realize there is nothing they can do about this game.
Yeah, this was, score-wise at least, I think the most one-sided game we've had so far on the stream here.
Yeah, definitely very, like, we've had a lot of one-sided games, but that was the bee's knees on that one.
Can't even call it one-sided anymore, it's complete destruction. Well, as expected, Cdec came into the series as a favorite. Not that big of a favorite, but they're showing why they're